Yes, people, welcome back to the channel. KG is back. It is time for a brand new video, and we're going to be speaking about a few things in this video today: transfer links, Daniel Farke, and just following up on points that I've made earlier this week that have kind of come to fruition today. Before I do continue, please like the video. It's free to do, helps out the channel. Drop your thoughts and comments below. Thank you to Sai and Phil for the super thanks on the last video. Much appreciated, guys. And of course, big up to every single member of the channel. You make this thing go. So, the thumbnail. It says the proof and it's got Patrick Bamford in it. So what do I mean by that? Does it mean that Patrick Bamford hasn't found another top level club? No, that's not what I mean. The proof is Patrick Bamford has joined Sheffield United. Now, Mike McGrath broke this yesterday, which meant it was a certainty because Mike McGrath, when he says something, it usually happens. And with Patrick Bamford joining Sheffield United, it's a surprise in itself because of the Chris Wilder-Patrick Bamford relationship. You have Chris Wilder talking about Patrick Bamford in the Leeds Muppets a few years ago. You've even got this summer, people, Patrick Bamford leading the chorus of Chris Wilder is a so-so. Now, I'm not going to say the words on here because I've met a few of you and you've got kids, so I'm going to refrain from that. But you know the song, and it isn't pleasant. And the fact that these two have spoken on the phone previously, mended fences, is exactly what I've been talking about this week when it comes to a certain Frank Lampard. By the way, Patrick Bamford is also ex-Chelsea. Didn't really play for him, but he's still ex-Chelsea. And you guys have been singing that doo-doo song, all right? But Frank Lampard, and I'm not pushing the agenda here, I'm just kind of proving a point here that you can never say never in football. Now, I'm not saying Frank Lampard is going to be Leeds manager this year, next year, or even in 3-4 years, but I'm saying never discount it. Listen, people used to sing about Neil Warnock. He became our manager. Frank Lampard literally did a gesture back to Leeds fans this year when Leeds beat Coventry because Leeds fans were singing at Frank Lampard. But that doesn't mean that our relationship can never be mended. And as you're going to see now, whatever happens with Bamford and Chris Wilder, whether Bamford scores and he gives Chris Wilder a hug on the touchline, cool. You know, that you just that's football, and that is the beauty of football as well, by the way, because you just never know. And just before I move on, for the people that are going to say, man, because of the strikers that we got, we should have just kept Bamford. Instead of saying that, wish we had a better recruitment team. That's what you should be saying. And speaking of which, Graham Bailey, who I know is not everyone's favorite, but you know, he's done all right this summer. He's not Mike McGrath like 30, but he's done all right. He said Leeds have been watching Midtjylland. I'm going to go with that. For my Danish people out there, help me out. Forward Franculino. The Guinea-Bissau could move in January, but he has a hefty price tag, and it is 40 million. Now, Franculino, I've actually signed on Football Manager. I have. He's my substitute striker at the minute. He's having to play backup to Pio Esposito, who I've got on loan from Inter, who's absolute. Oh, he's magic, people. Sign him up if you can get him, if you play Football Manager. But in real life, this guy he's a quick striker, strong striker, and definitely has an eye for goal. And it is in the Danish league, so you do have to consider that. But he's got a brilliant record there. And he also has 3 Europa League goals this season as well. This is a guy, 21 years old. This is a guy that I would definitely love Leeds United to be looking at. See, yesterday we talked about Haji Wright at 27. Not for me. I would love this kind of guy to be someone who you could get for like a 40 million. Maybe he'll cost that. Only cost me 15 on Football Manager. But, you know, if he costs 40 million, so be it, because you don't know what the potential level of this guy could be. And it looks strong. We're in for him. West Ham are linked with him, and so are Bayern Munich. And I don't know if the Bayern Munich one will be that strong, obviously, because they've got Harry Kane, and you know that pathway is blocked already. But you know, for me at this point in time, I spoke about the recruitment just a minute ago, but that's the only thing that is making me think, nah. And also because of the manager we've got. Just being brutally honest, I don't think he would sign at this point. If we do get a new manager and it's someone with a pedigree, I do think there's more chance of getting him, especially if we're still kind of in touch in the January transfer window. But obviously as well, if Franculino was to be bought, we'd have to sell a few players because apparently, as Robbie Evans said, we're up against it with PSR. And if we're signing any big players, some players have to go. And that would suit me fine. Honestly, I think there's scope for a few players to leave. I think Joel Peru is a prime candidate to be sold in order to facilitate the move. And obviously, if you can try and move out Harrison Aronson, one of the two. I think you could still get some money for, more so for Aronson than Harrison at this stage, but at least you're getting the wages of Harrison off your books. But yeah, there is scope to get PSR wiggle room here. But yeah, this is the kind of striker that you need to be going for. He's got all the tools to be a top striker, and he's only scratching the potential at 21. So this is something I would be definitely all for. But with West Ham in the wings, Nuno Espirito Santo looking at Adama Traore to reunite it with him again, and then bringing him in, it would give West Ham a whole new dimension in the team that they've already got to what they have already. So yeah, I think it's unlikely at this time, especially with the manager that we've got. So give me your thoughts. If you heard of Franculino before, let me know in the comments. And just finally, we've had a lot on Daniel Farke this week, and for good reason. The pressure hasn't gone away. You guys in the comments have been very relentless when it comes to Daniel Farke as well. But apparently, this is from like a weekish old report, but he had 5 games to save his job, according to a report in the Daily Mail, which obviously now goes to 4 games because he didn't get any points in the Forest one. And it said that the magic number out of the next few games is 4 points. Now, we've got Villa, Man City, Chelsea, and Liverpool. So they're hoping that he can beat Villa. But for me, if he does beat Villa, we're doing the Jesse Marsch thing all over again. When Jesse Marsch beat Liverpool, and you get the whatever celebration that he did at the time, and it gave him more time over that World Cup period, and we suffered for it. If they're going to make a move, they need to make it soon as possible. Now, I understand why they do it for these games and give him these games, because they probably know he's not going to get the results. There is an argument that if a new manager of quality came in, you could possibly, get that new manager bounce and get a win against Villa, maybe even get something against Chelsea. Who knows? But at this stage, with Daniel Farke at the helm, I do not see any points being picked up. And that's just me being honest. You might think it's being negative. That's on you. What with the results against Burnley, Forest, and other people that we've played, what makes you think we're going to get 3 points against any of these teams coming up? Villa have won 8 in 10 lately, and they just beat Bournemouth by 4 something. So yeah, it's one of these now where Daniel Farke, I mean, he's under extreme pressure. He will know it. I expect the pre-match press conference next week to go around 45, 50 minutes. I'm sure it will be a long one, because he will be aware of a lot of things that people have said. People around him would have told him, including people that work at the club. So it's going to be interesting. But for Leeds United, I feel like they're just delaying the inevitable with this and expecting Daniel Farke, who's got one of the most horrendous records in top flight of Premier League history. It's just unrealistic. He is not going to get 4 points. He could do, and it would be the biggest shock, but I just don't see it happening, people. I don't see it happening. So if this is the remit, and if the report is anywhere true, and it is via the Daily Mail, who they do usually leak out stuff to, then they will have other candidates in mind. Because if they do get to this end of this period of the next 4 games and sack him and don't have somebody in place, I will say in the next day or 2, then they're not doing their jobs properly yet again after the disastrous summer that they've had. So yeah, people, let me know your thoughts in the comments about anything discussed. I like the video, as I say, and I'll see you in the next one. I should be having a day off tomorrow, but I said that yesterday. Peace out.